What if once a month a box arrived in your mailbox that had things inside that were appropriate for the development of your child, as well as something special for you? That is what Mamafrog Baby is doing every month. Today's very special guest on the Teaching Your Toddler show is Rana Zellner Burr, who has been dedicated to helping other business owners build their presence online since she started her online career. Now, about a year ago, all of that changed when she came up with the idea that combined her love for high-quality, sustainably sourced goods, as well as her work as a music therapist, the Mamafrog Baby subscription box. And the most exciting part about it is that her kids are excited about it too. Listen to this very special episode now and learn all about Mamafrog Baby subscription boxes and more about Rana Zellner Burr. Welcome to the show. Hello, this is Mary Jo Tinlin from Teaching Your Toddler, and today our very special guest is Rana Zellner Burr, who is a music therapist and has also started a subscription box for moms. Rana, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us today. Tell us a little bit about yourself and about your background.
Thank you so much, Mary Jo. And first of all, thank you for having me. It's great to be here. So I am a music therapist by training, and I'm also a mom of 5. And my kids' ages range from 6 to 25, which seems a little strange looking back. But yeah, so I started out, long time ago as a music therapist. I did my internship in more of a medical field. But as I started growing my family, I found that working with little children actually was more conducive to the learning that I was doing with my own children. And also it was a way for me to help other parents with children with developmental issues and just some challenges. And that could be in their home or at school or, all kinds of other things. So I started focusing in on very young ages because it's music therapy, above all else, focuses on brain development. And so we really are targeting the brain when we're doing our activities and utilizing the different techniques. And so I started really looking into early intervention. I tried to get licensed in the state of Missouri, but at the time it wasn't open to music therapists. At the time they were focusing on speech therapy and occupational therapy. And I fought long and hard, and I even got an award from the American Music Therapy Association for my work in trying to break into state licensure. And it didn't happen. Hopefully, it's definitely progressed since then. But we've just found that, doing those things early and often and reinforcing them and, doing those types of goals and everything has really made a difference for the kids as they got older.
So tell us, you started to say it targets, brain development, but can you give us a little bit of background on what music therapy actually is doing? What are you doing as a music therapist?
So music therapy, it could be seen as very similar to occupational therapy, but what we do is we use melodies, rhythms, we use musical instruments, and they could be simple rhythm instruments like maracas or, something that they can shake or a drum that they can tap. And what we're doing in music therapy is we're helping to make something fun that is essential for their progress. For instance, using their fingers. Maybe there's been an injury at birth where they aren't able to have a full range of motion in their fingers, which of course is very important for their development. And so we can create maybe a simple pattern on the piano that we can teach them that they can, reinforce those movements that are going to help with their handwriting or with self-feeding or some other, related skills. And so we take music and we adapt it to the specific psychomotor needs of the child.
How do you sort of choose the music that you're using?
So sometimes we will write original music to use to reinforce, and other times we will use mostly age-appropriate music that will is is conducive to whatever goal we have for the child. So we might write a phone number song so for them to learn their phone number. So that would be an original song. Obviously, everybody has a different phone number. Um,
Right.
and that's for like, would be for an older child. But the music can be very simple to be effective. It doesn't have to be anything, fancy. We like using live music. Recorded music is good for certain purposes, but, to be able to really interact and maybe even to communicate through the music, creating music together with a child is really where the magic and the power happens.
I took my son to the music together classes when he was small, and it was just so profound. Some of the things that they were talking about, even just like cross body things where they would tap the instrument across their their other knee, their opposite knee, or things like that just we don't even think about. We do it because it's funny or fun, but it's actually developing their brains. That I was just fascinated by that.
Music Together is an amazing program. And in fact, I have used some of their recorded music in my practice and have been in touch with some of their creators. And yeah, they have definitely brought music therapy like activities into the mainstream. So I'm so glad that you were involved with that program.
Yes, it was amazing. And my son was really small. He was like, I think less than a year when we started. He had just started walking. Product, which is called Mamafrog Baby subscription boxes, right?
That is correct. Yep.
And you just launched.
We just launched. We are on Indiegogo right now in funding. So yeah, it's been a really exciting journey, and just kind of getting here with the products.
And so tell me, tell the audience. So it's a subscription box, comes monthly. Tell us a little bit about what's in there, how you're choosing things, and why did you start this?
Mm-hmm. Sure. So there are a lot of questions in there.
Yes.
Let me see. So the box contains. So the box is designed to be sent out monthly, starting at a newborn box and then going all the way up to 36 months. So, and each box is individually geared towards that particular age. So, and you'd be surprised how much of a difference there is between the 1 month and the 2 month box. So, because what we do is the products in the box are amazing and wonderful. And I'm working with a lot of great companies that are sourcing their products, sustainably, and they're organic and all natural, and they're things that you can feel good about giving to your child or using for your child. But the most exciting part of the box is the developmental guidance that comes along with it. And what we try to do is focus on 6 areas of development in the guidance, and that would be visual, tactile, auditory, verbal, fine motor, which is your hands, and then gross motor categories, which is like the larger movements, walking and jumping and things like that. So what we do is we focus the products on areas that really meet the needs of the child. So for instance, in our newborn box, we have visual stimulation cards that's going to stimulate the optic nerve and get the child to start focusing, getting their visual acuity ready later on. It's not too early to read and do other things. And so and then later on, some of the toys they'll get more complex. So in the box there is something to read, or in the case of visual stimulation, there are the cards. And then there's something to play with. So that would be a toy of some kind, and usually sustainably sourced, maybe a natural rubber or a natural wood that's been sustainably sourced. And something to wear. So that could be an article of clothing that fits their developmental needs somehow, like if they're walking, that doesn't get in their way, or if they're crawling, that kind of covers their knees. And then something that they need. So that could be a baby wash, or it could be a sippy cup, just depending on what we feel like developmentally in that time frame is most useful. And then very special, what we like to do is throw something in the box for the mom or the caregiver, the dad or whoever's really taking care of the child, so that they feel special. Because so many times as parents, we don't like to buy things for ourselves, and it's
Right.
really hard for us
Especially when
to.
you have a brand new baby, you feel
Oh,
guilty. You don't
exactly.
want to buy something for yourself, right?
Right. You want to, and of course we want to do that, but they're special too. We need to take care of them also, and so we have, like maybe a rose tonic facial spray or like a scrub or something they can use full body or something like that.
Oh, that's so great. Then they get to pamper themselves a little bit if they have a few moments, right?
Exactly. Having a few
That's
moments, that's
great.
the key.
So do you did you develop it as something that a mom would buy for themselves, or do you think of it more as a gift that someone would give a new mom or something?
I really saw it as something that could fit a lot of different use cases. Sometimes even grandparents, they have trouble giving advice to their kids because they're afraid they're going to step on toes. So it could even be something like that, where they want to make sure that the baby's getting what they need or the child's getting what they need, but they don't want to say it, so they can give this gift.
Mm-hmm.
And there
Yes.
it is. There's their advice that they get to give without, saying a word.
Right. Now, it's and if someone found out about you when their baby was 6 months, it's okay, right? Like you can still jump in whenever it works for, the mom, right? For the
Oh,
baby.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. They can, and we send out emails too. So if there's something that they need to catch up on and things like that, or if they feel like they're, it's hard to, especially as a new mom, it's hard to pinpoint on those milestones that may not be happening um, on an improvement trajectory.
Hmm.
And so, we don't want them to be like overly concerned with, oh, my baby's not doing this yet, there must be something wrong,
Hmm.
because that's not our emphasis. We just want to make sure that babies or toddlers are thriving, where they are themselves.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
yep.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds so good because I think a lot of moms, especially new moms, they just don't know what they don't know, right?
Hmm.
They're not, and so to be able to bring them this information, like the guidance that comes along with the box or the emails that also support them, that sounds like amazing, and that sounds like a lot of work for you. That's incredibly involved.
I enjoy it, and because I've worked with so many tiny kids, it seems like a natural progression for me to be offering this sort of advice and guidance, and finding products that go along with it is just more fun.
Oh, that's so great. And so this comes monthly. Can you buy like a certain period of time, like 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, or do you sort of pay month to month? How does it work for someone who would want to be a part of this?
Sure. So our campaign right now is set up so that they can choose either a month. They can even do a 2 month subscription. It goes all the way up to 6 months at the moment. And then, of course, once we are off of the Indiegogo platform, there will be even more flexibility there. They can choose to go month to month, or they can choose a longer term subscription. If they choose a longer term subscription, we're able to offer them a savings. Obviously, we want to have them around for longer, so we want to make it desirable for them them to be able to do that. And so, yeah, we just kind of starting out, the one month, 2 month, 3 month, 4 month, just whatever they choose is kind of where we're handling that.
Perfect. And so for Indiegogo, how does that work?
So Indiegogo is one of many crowdfunding platforms, and I have some friends who have run campaigns on there, some artists and things, musicians who really liked it. Basically, they're a creative community, and it's starting a business on Indiegogo means that you're only creating as much product as there's demand for. So you're not, wasting resources. You're, being very environmentally conscious, and just being able to launch to a group of creative backers who can see, the value in an endeavor like this. So I really felt like, building a community, getting out to more people was the way to go, and that's why I chose Indiegogo.
Perfect. I I'm aware of this, but I'd never seen it sort of applied like this. So that's really interesting the way you explain that. Thank you. So for the sourcing, I mean, I agree that for moms, especially new moms, they want to know like what's going in my baby's mouth. Is it clean? Is it, like you said, organic and natural and all that? So how does the sourcing work? Is that a challenge for you, or is it pretty easy to find stuff that's sourced, sustainably and also naturally?
So, yes and no. I think that a lot of times when we purchase things for our babies, we go to Target, we look at the natural brands, we try to find something that looks like it's going to do the least harm to our
Mm-hmm.
baby's skin or, put in their mouth. But what I've done is I've gone out to find smaller companies, companies that really are focused and committed to using only the best ingredients and only so no cheap plastic toys. These are toys that really will last, for one thing, and also that aren't going to destroy the planet in the production. So, finding these small businesses hasn't been as difficult as I thought it might be.
Oh, that's
But
good.
um, you know, social media has been really, really great. I'm a member of a lot of maker communities where I can actually talk to moms who are making things, and they're knitting organic yarn dolls, or they're making amazing skincare products that I can use to pamper the caregivers. So as soon as start putting this out there, I got people actually contacting me. Oh, this might be great for your box, and I look at it, and if it was great, if not, maybe there's a different kind of partnership that we can do. So what I love about this box really is in sourcing in this way. Is not only is this growing a new business, supporting a new business, but it's also supporting so many other small businesses. And these are family run. They're women, and minority owned. And I just love all of the people that I've been able to work with, and they've just been just fantastic.
What a great way to sort of help each other, right? It's a synergistic relationship to both. That's such a great story.
It really is. Yep. And
Oh,
and really, another exciting aspect of it is having my kids be excited about it and wanting to work in it with me.
oh, that's great.
It really is. And so I have my daughter. One of my daughters is she's actually just started school. And she's doing graphic design, and she's designed the box. She's designed the logo, all kinds of really cool things that we need for a business like this. And then my daughter that's older than her she just graduated in communications, and so she is able to help a lot with a lot of the messaging and the social media, and she is the queen of Pinterest in our house.
Oh, and
So
this is a perfect Pinterest product for sure, I would think.
absolutely. Hmm.
Oh, that's great. And that's so wonderful that you get to work with your children. And then they also, and again, synergistically, they are getting experience. So, like your daughter has some portfolio material now, and your other daughter
Right.
has some great experience. Oh my gosh, that's such a wonderful thing. And I don't know if you planned that, but that worked out really well.
It really did. I didn't plan it that way, but I'm thrilled, and knowing that they're excited about it gets me excited about it. And also, I'm able to show them, like they're able to see their mom create something out of nothing, you know, and hopefully that gives them confidence to go on and do their own thing someday. So,
Yes, absolutely. Right.
mhm.
And I love that you're supporting the mom makers. Like you said, I kind of hadn't thought about that community and to find those communities online. And then now they're approaching you. Wow. I mean, again, it just helps them and it helps you as well, right?
Yep, totally. It's great. It's great synergy, like you said.
Mhm. I also saw in the material that I got about your business about Mama Frog that you also suggest people possibly donate the boxes if they can't use them, or if maybe their kids are too old or something, that they would be able to pass on the good stuff to someone maybe in a woman's shelter or something like that. Have you had that happen, or is that something you're planning to have happen?
We absolutely have had that happen. The first people that you kind of pitch to are your friends and family,
Hmm.
and so not all my friends are still having babies, and so I just kind of wanted to have that option for someone to get involved and help somebody else without necessarily feeling like they're left out of that consumer group. But not only that, but it was a great opportunity to help women who are struggling and, still need things for their babies. And, to be able to offer that to them is an amazing gift for me to be able to touch their lives.
Absolutely, for sure. Well, what else do we need to know about you? What else about Mama Frog? How did you think up the name and the brand itself?
So the name I had for a while, I used it for a couple different things, as I came through my internet marketing journey. And when I started I actually started selling on Amazon several years ago, and I was making or having made a very soft potty seat for well, babies and also older children. They were using elimination communication, and the potty seat was big enough that like even a 6-year-old who wasn't potty trained could, or confident on the potty, could use. And so I started using that name on the potty seats, and it went really well. And in fact, they're still selling in the Philippines.
Oh,
My distributor out there she's really done a great job, and she's using the Mama Frog name, and she's doing the distribution of the potty seat out there. But I decided that I wanted to come off of Amazon and do something a little bit more organic, and also I had done some training with Sophie Howard. She's in New Zealand, and she does a lot of source products that she does both on Amazon but also in subscription boxes. And that was just really interesting to me. So I thought, that could be a perfect um, offboarding, I guess, of my Amazon experience. And I just started thinking of other things that I could do with the Mama Frog brand and about how much larger I can kind of set that umbrella. So that's kind of what started me into thinking about baby products. And then, of course, with my music therapy piece, it just made sense to make it more like a, developmental, friendly, you know, project that just kind of keeps me up at night and up early in the morning.
yes, as an entrepreneur, right? It never ends.
Right. Yep.
Absolutely. Great. Oh gosh, that's an interesting evolution from Amazon to the subscription boxes. I've never heard that. I mean, of course I've heard about selling on Amazon, but that's an interesting evolution for your brand. How cool is that? Gosh, well, tell us how to find you, how to sign up for subscriptions, and anything else that you want the audience to know, and about where you are on social media besides Pinterest.
Uh-huh, absolutely. So my domain name, mamafrogbaby.com, is pointing at the Indiegogo campaign right now. So if people want to get in early and actually secure a 40% discount for, as long as they're buying the boxes, and that could be now or in the future for their grandbabies, they can go ahead and go on to there. Later on, when we switch platforms, it'll still, that mamafrogbaby.com will still take them to wherever Mama Frog Baby boxes are sold.
Okay, perfect.
And so, we're looking at this long term and just kind of doing some planning. Instagram, we're at Mama Frog Baby, and also on Facebook, and of course Pinterest under the same name. We do have a YouTube channel also where we're teaching babies to read and doing some other fun stuff. So those are our main avenues. We actually do have a TikTok too.
Great.
So if you can find us over there and maybe give us a little bit of tips on how to use that, young people, that would be
Yes.
great.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I recently found out that my daughter had like a TikTok that sort of went viral, and I was like, what? Anyway, I mean, she was dancing or something. I don't know, but that's funny. So the teaching your babies to read on YouTube, that's pretty curious. How does that work?
So starting at 8 months, the babies develop enough visual acuity to see a large red word printed on a card. And
Wow.
they learn to recognize it just based on repetition. And so we call it the reading game. And it was through the work of Glenn Doman. And I don't know if you're familiar with any of his work, but my son, when he was first, with us, we realized that he wasn't talking. And so I had come across the work of Glenn Doman. I thought, well, I wonder if I taught him to read, if he would he would talk more. Well, it turns out that he was diagnosed with autism later on, and it really did help him to be able to verbalize and to be able to, and of course, be an excellent reader. And so we have, used that technique with the rest of our children, just because it does give them, kind of an advantage as they're starting school, or as they're learning to do new things. Because if you know how to read, you can teach yourself how to do anything.
Absolutely.
Focusing on that skill. And so, starting at 8 months, we do the big red letters, 6 inches high. And then as their optic nerve develops, they can do smaller and smaller words. But so we're not teaching letters necessarily, but we're teaching words that are important to the baby, like their name or the dog's name, or, the things that they use every day, like their bottle, or, all the things in their environment. So we're basing the language that they're learning on their own little lives, little baby lives.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's fascinating. Well, I will make sure that the listeners have the links to all of these so that they can find you, especially that YouTube channel. I think that would be very interesting for moms to be able to have their babies start to look at that. I mean, we always talk a lot about on the show about using sign language. I taught my children sign language when they were small, and it helped so much when they were pre-verbal. But this is really interesting as well, because as you said, the optic nerve and that reading skill that is developed as well.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Well, Rana, what else do we need to know about you? And then we'll wrap up.
Oh, wow.
Or how about do you have any advice for moms?
So, you hear a lot that when you have a baby, just to take in all the advice that you can, and new moms are inundated with advice, and I would just say to do what you think is best for your baby. Don't let anybody tell you what to do. If you think carrying them around is better than putting them in a stroller, then that's what you do. And you can never, ever spoil a baby.
Oh, that's good advice.
Absolutely. I guess mainly, and maybe I have a better chance of thinking about this, the ways that you, place your baby is really important for their development. So strapping them in a car seat while they're in the house, or like a baby carrier, is not necessarily going to help them to develop those bigger muscle movements that are going to develop their brain. So I would love to see more moms, letting their babies sit on their tummies and try to move with their arms, because that's what they're there for. Because when you put a baby on their back on the floor or in their baby carrier, you really are kind of stunting their ability to move around. It's almost like you're putting a bug on its back, so it can't move around, and it can't use those muscles, and also develop those brain pathways that are not going to just help them learn how to crawl and to walk and to explore their environment, but also that translate into later cognitive skills, like verbalizing and also reading the written word, and doing all these other things that they're going to need to do, doing cross patterning that reinforces all kinds of cognitive connections. And so, having a baby with developmental challenges has really helped me appreciate, the ways we interact with our baby, and how important it is that we're always, talking to them, or always engaging with them, and just loving them, and, being there for them, present for them, and boy, that was like kind of a wild and circuitous answer.
No, it was really good. You had lots of gems in there because you're exactly right. And we also always try to tell the moms, like you said, put your phone down, engage with your baby. This is a short season of their lives and your life, and it's really important. All of those things that you said, tummy time. I know we always think, tummy time is hard, whatever, but having had a son go through brain highways, I think is that what it's called, where they had to repattern his brain because he didn't crawl properly. He didn't do some of these things properly when as a baby, and then as he was in middle school, I think, when he had to go through this. This investment you make in the tummy time now will help them for their life, really.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It sets the foundation for the rest of their learning.
It sure does. Gosh, well, thank you. Again, thank you so much for joining us today on the Teaching Your Toddler show. It's been a pleasure to speak to you and so exciting for your new business. And I hope that the listeners check it out and get one for themselves or give it to their friend or whatever, so that we can help Mamafrog Baby grow and grow.
Thank you so much, Mary Jo. It has been my honor to be here. And thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
This has been the Teaching Your Toddler podcast with Mary Jo Tinlin. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you'll find us on our website at teachingyourtoddler.com, as well as on Facebook at Teaching Your Toddler, on Instagram, and on Twitter at Teaching Toddler. So join us again, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you so much.